Welcome back to Bite Size Sports. Happy Thursday evening, everyone. Kev and James back with you on a Thursday. But as we mentioned before our break, the bounce is on a brief hiatus, and we are here with Super Size Sports, here to talk with you about anything and everything in the wild world of sports. And before I introduce my co-host, James, I want to say this right from the gate. Today's question of the day for you in the chat. I want to know what your favorite obscure Olympic sport is. What's the sport that you're only watching once every 4 years, but you can't get enough of it? We'll dive into ours. And Winter Olympic sports are allowed. I know you might be yearning. It's the wrong season for you, but you know, if you're this is the one I'll give you. If you're a curling fan, I still want to hear from you. But James, I want to hear from you first. Happy Thursday, sir. How we doing this week? Long time no see.
Good, man. We are back. We have finally made our return after a few hectic weeks of vacations and movings and stuff. As everybody can tell, you have a completely new background there. I am good. It's college football eve for me. I don't get it till tomorrow, so very excited. Very excited.
Ooh, big day. You know what? That is a great way to start the show. We'll talk about that. That's one of the segments on our to-do list. College football 25, a game that I am also eagerly awaiting. Right now, I've got college football at home, okay? My copy of NCAA 14 that the rest of you all have put to rest, like Tony Stark in Endgame.
Time to bury it.
Still putting some work in. My Eastern Michigan franchise, my rebuild is still in full swing. So I have seen something I am not surprised to see, James. I don't know if you're surprised to see it, but there's been a lot of glitch clips to start so far. Would love to hear from you viewers out there if you've been playing it already. But have you seen any of these? Are you worried about this? Has your hype level been throttled at all after seeing some of this footage, or are you just more hyped?
I'm more hyped. Let me score a touchdown against one of my buddies while running on top of their heads 10 feet off the ground. Give it to me. It's one of these patches, Kev. They can fix this on the fly. We can fix this on the fly.
That was my favorite one. I'm glad we both saw the same glitch clip, but no, the other, man, the content already coming out of NCAA or it's going to be hard for me to switch that. CFB 25. I even wrote it incorrectly on the run of show to start.
NCAA football. Call it what we call it.
College
True
football.
Ones know. Us OGs know.
Yes, exactly. Plus, I'm technically still playing NCAA, but somebody's been out there doing the I just about called it road to the show, the road to glory. Playing, I've seen some cornerback content, some middle linebacker. Are you more of a franchise dynasty guy, James? Do you ever play just the one player mode in college football?
I ain't got time for that one player shit. We're going straight to dynasty. I got 2 online dynasties starting tomorrow. The Bowling Green State Falcons and the USA, the South Alabama Jaguars. They are about to tear this world in half. Prep yourselves, folks.
I can get with the Conference USA move.
You can't. Your bitter rivals, the Bowling Green State Falcons. One of my best friends is playing as Toledo, so we have to play every year.
There we go. At least I know who I'm rooting for. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As a Toledo Rocket, I cannot condone the selection of Bowling Green for any reason, unless you're my dear friend Clayton Scalina over at Carnage Media and Hot Take Sports. He, believe it or not, James, I actually have to sit a couple of times a month. I have to share a desk and commentate fights with a current Bowling Green student. It's just it's absurd. There is no God. Whoops, sorry. No, okay, we're past 3 minutes in. I'm in the clear. Welcome again, everybody.
We are good.
Some viewers jumping in here as we get rolling. We appreciate all of you. Bit of a break. We were on a hiatus, had to get some things done, but we are back now, and I'm struggling to decide where I want to go next, James. So let's go to a football topic because we've got another basketball heavy episode. And to try to remind people that this is not the bounce right now, let's go to our dear friend Nate's favorite team, the Chicago Bears.
Oh, God.
Caleb Williams has made headlines again, but not the good kind like you want. It has
Why does he
been
keep doing dumb shit, Nate?
why are we always hearing, right? That will come into play probably here in a moment, because the number one overall pick of the Chicago Bears requested that his contract include a stipulation that would not allow him to be franchise tagged or clause, whatever it would be called in this contract. James, before I give my piece, the floor is yours. What are your thoughts on this rookie quarterback asking the Bears to refrain from having the ability to franchise tag him in the future?
He ain't done shit, man. He keeps asking for all this stuff. He hasn't thrown a single pass. And like I told you pre-show, like I'm almost positive you can't do that. He's a rookie contract. It's part of the CBA. You can't just not be tagged. That's not how it works. The Titans play them week 1, and I hope the Titans pulverize them. I hope they beat them into submission. This newfound offense there. Your head coach is still Matt Eberflus. Caleb Williams hasn't played in the game in the league. I hope Jeffrey Simmons and L'Jarius Sneed eat his fucking lunch.
It's very hard for me to have any game in the season where I would root for the Titans. And if it weren't for my familial ties to the Chicago Bears, I might be right there with you, James, because I have been on record as being annoyed by this young man for quite some time.
He's annoying. And there's times I like him, and then he does shit like this, and I hate him. I'm like, ugh.
Every time you want to try to like him, he goes and does something like this. The Bears are cursed. I don't know what they did and to whom, but they have never been able to solve the quarterback situation. And I think James is on.
No, they haven't.
Maybe on the same page with me on this one. I think they are going to really regret letting Justin Fields go, or at the very least, I think there are going to be a lot of angry Bears fans when they watch Justin Fields go succeed in Pittsburgh over the course of the next few years while they struggle again and maybe are drafting a new quarterback in 3 years.
He's got to beat out old Russell Wilson first, though. Come on now.
I give it 8 weeks, maybe 9.
I'm very interested to see what happens there.
Russ is gone. Russ is going to be there long enough to teach Fields a couple of good habits, but the body is just not there anymore. And he's going to be – they're still going to somehow they'll be 3 or 4 games. Like, they will not have a winning record, but they'll still win 3 or 4 games. They'll still be around. And then at some point they'll get to where it's like, hey, we're 3-5, 3-6. We got to make a change. Fields will come in. They'll make the playoffs at 10-7. You know, do just the same Steelers shit they always do.
Oh,
maybe
hot take. Hot take.
And
right.
they'll squeak into the playoffs, and the Bears will be 4-12, probably playing Nate Peterman at quarterback, and just
not even. I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? I'm reading an article. What was I going to say? I lost it. I'm broken, guys. I don't know how it works anymore.
That's how you get yourself uninvited from a Thanksgiving, guys. If you can't tell by the hat, quite a few Bears fans in the family, so won't be surprised if locks are changed the next time I come to visit. But I stand by what I said, all right? Caleb Williams is giving me cause for concern, to say the least. Poor Bears fans. Nate's probably yelling at me on Twitter, and I just can't see it. I would not be surprised.
The Bears suck, Nate.
Bounce over to the bounce, because I went from frustrating Nate and rubbing it into his face, and now I'm at least going to be a man about it, James, and I'm going to do it to you while you're here live, while you're right here, because you're actually the one who broke this news to me. Your beloved Denver Nuggets appear to be making moves for Russell Westbrook, who has now been cut by the Jazz twice in his career. Little fun fact for you. So he was traded for Chris Dunn from LA to the Utah Jazz and will allegedly be joining the Nuggets. Is this a good fit for your boys, first and foremost?
No, so much for fucking pace and space. We got Chuck City there. No, it's terrible. What are we doing?
A little light on the space.
Doing? He can't shoot. Is he going to be an elite cutter for him? No. Is he going to come off the bench and not just jack up shit? No. No.
He might at least be a good cutter for him.
He's not.
He's a good cutter.
Mid-range city. I hate it. I hate it. The Nugs let KCP go. Let Bruce Brown go last. Nugs are they're heading in the wrong direction. I don't like it. It was always the Nugs is finally over.
It's over. Ooh, wow. There's a hot take for you. I didn't expect that one. Now, I do think
it broke me.
This was a great move for Russell Westbrook as far as title chasing is concerned. This may be one of the only contending teams that could have any sort of use for him. And the reason I say that is twofold, mainly just being the health of Jamal Murray. So if there are little light injuries or just little things where stuff that maybe he has played through in the past that has led to some of these larger injuries, maybe you just let Russ play more minutes throughout the regular season. I don't think it's going to hurt them that badly. And then you'll probably just be pulling back his minutes come the postseason. But as far as he is concerned, I'm racking my brain right now to try to think of other contending teams that would have even had a passing interest in Russ Westbrook at this point. So I don't disagree with you, James. I think it's been downgrade. Bruce Brown to KCP, I don't want to call that a downgrade. They're two very different play styles. Yeah. I would rather have Bruce Brown, but unless I have absolutely no shooting on my team, in which case I would love to have KCP. But what I will say is Westbrook to me today is a downgrade from either of those players.
Yeah, easily a downgrade, 100%.
And this was mentioned online that he would be a rotation piece and a spot starter. And if by spot starts, I hope you mean, no more than 10 games. If he has to start, then they're in trouble. There's not enough there. I like this team. The West is really good right now, and we've seen it just over the last two playoffs. Like look at the Kings. They went from the 2 seed to about the 8 seed, and they're out here making moves because everybody's getting good around them. Look, God, the Thunder look scary, don't they? You've got everybody but the Lakers, just making great moves.
Out of Ronnie, they're doing real good over there. He started off like 0 for 16 from 3. Hell yeah, go Bronny! Nice job, Lakers. Woohoo!
Fantastic. Well, we'll just switch right into that one because that was another topic on the board here. Bronny James, the winner of the Summer League Call of Duty tournament, James. I don't know if you know about that, but good old Bronny, maybe not a pro, according to world champion Jaylen Brown. Maybe Bronny is not quite a pro. What do you think, James? Is Bronny James going to be on the Lakers roster this season? Is he a G League guy? Would he even be here?
He's going to be on that roster, and it has nothing to do with him. Nothing. He's going to be on that roster because his dad's on that roster. He ain't going back and forth. He will be on that roster. Now, you forgot to ask me, is he going to play this year? He's going to. I agree, Nate. We're going to talk about Caitlin Clark's game last night, too. He's going to play once. They're going to play on the court together once, so they can say they did it, and then he's never going to play again. He sucks. He's not good. Jaylen Brown literally got caught saying, I think he's a pro.
You got to be careful what you say. His camera's everywhere, Jaylen.
Yeah. Who cares?
He's probably
the champ. Who gives a shit?
He's got a. Well, hey, I'm just saying he's at the Olympics right now. He's sharing a locker room with LeBron. He wants to make sure he gets home safe. He better stop saying these things about Bronny. They'll never find him. It's going to be left behind in Paris. Bronny James, I, for one, well, I'll give you that, James. He'll make the roster at a certain point in time. Like, he will
He's
share
on the
the floor
roster
with his dad at a
Yes.
certain point. I think he's going to spend most of the season in the G League because
Okay.
you just cannot, you can't justify putting him on the court at this point. And
I don't think so either. I just think his dad will want him around.
see, here's the thing. Does LeBron care more about playing ball with his son, or does he still think he's got a window to make a playoff run? Because I think
he
he
wants to play ball with his
probably,
son.
you think so? You think he wants to just ball with his son? I think he knows he only has a year or two left of any shot at the playoffs. And so that's why I'm thinking he got Bronny this, what is it, like a 4-year deal, a 3-year, $8 million deal? I think that was done with the idea of, hey, son, we'll play together. It just might not be this year, but you think he'll be there for sure this season. I think if somebody gets injured, he'll be a call up. I think he'll be one of the first kids called up from the G League, but I think he's going to start the season in the G League. So, Nate, appreciate the I don't even know if that is a compliment saying, I will tell you this, I probably have a better mid-range game than Bronny.
Oh, mid-range city, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All day and all night. Although he would whoop me 1v1 in COD, let's be clear.
Yeah, kick your ass. He's a COD master.
He needs to maybe embrace that. This is not.
Yeah, he sounds good at that.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. And to a certain degree, it could never work because your dad is on Mount Rushmore of basketball. So no matter what you do, you will be viewed as less than. Like, you'll never really be able to get out of dear old dad's shadow in this setting.
Yeah.
Maybe he just should go be a professional gamer. He's got a built-in, like, his Instagram following, all that stuff, just from being LeBron's kid. Like, he's already got a head start. Even if LeBron wasn't helping him financially, which he clearly is. Look at that contract he just got.
Yeah.
Already, he's already got $8 million, but so he doesn't really need any more dad's money for a while. He could easily just Twitch stream, whatever, go be a pro COD player and be one of the celebrities. If I wouldn't say first, like that I don't follow that, but I know that it has its own market. I'm sure that there are celebrities in that realm already.
It's huge,
but
yeah.
This would open it up to a more casual fan. This is the apples to oranges, but it's like when an MLS team signs in a 40-year-old European legend just to have some name recognition to try to get a few more casual fans in the seats. He could probably bring more eyes to a different product. I don't think the NBA is part of his long-term future.
I don't think so. I don't think he's long for the NBA.
Agreed. So we are on the same page. Nate says, I follow the NASCAR iRacing League on occasion. Hey, shouts out, by the way. Our beloved car has just won Bite-Size Sports. We got back-to-back wins over there.
Hell yeah.
Oscar's getting fired up here. We'll have that soon. Actually, that reminds me, I think my dues are due today. Okay, whoops. I'm glad. Oopsies. Hey, Nate, let him know I'll send it after the show. But we actually
that's one way to do it, folks.
I'm glad. Thank you for saying the word iRacing in chat. That was huge. But yeah, our bite-sized sports car picked up a couple of dubs over the last 2 weeks. So it has been pretty awesome in the world of sports. iRacing, that is. So shouts out to our boys. We will, of course, let you know when the Oscar Racing Series starts back up. But jumping into a different sport here, because I know we got Nate in the chat, and I know this is something that you probably didn't watch much of, and that's what we want to talk about here. The MLB All-Star Game has come and gone. Paul Skeens and his mustache made an appearance.
Somebody win?
I believe somebody
hit a home run.
Ohtani hit a home run. My
Bomb
boy
City.
Shota threw some nice pitches out there, looking good. It was nice to see at least a Cub out there. Nate, let us know what you thought of the All-Star game. My first thought, and this goes to all-star game. Sorry, James, you're hearing this again. We just need to go back to letting everybody needs to be wearing their own team's uniform. And I want to reintroduce what I think we talked about on Dweeb. These players should be picking their favorite throwback from their
Yeah, like
team. Like,
I
do a
agree with that
home, do an
100%.
away. Let these guys pick one of their favorite throwbacks from their franchise so we all get a little bit of flavor. Or if you want there to be some uniformity, you, the MLB, say pick one from this decade. Like this year, it's the 90s. This year, it's the whatever. If, for instance, like if you want to be pinstripe heavy, I get it. You might pick a certain year. Or if you want to do those weird T-shirt jerseys, you might say pick something from the early 2000s.
Mhm.
But enough with these weird, like
These
Miami
stupid jerseys.
Vice,
Yeah.
Dixie Cup looking fucking
We gotta
highlighter
we gotta sell more
jerseys.
jerseys, Kev. We gotta sell them, man.
It is awful. Nate says the NL sucked like always, minus Shohei and Shota. Yeah,
Mhm.
classic. Nothing new there. And he agrees with our take on the jersey. You got to do something to make it more interesting. Now, the home run derby was interesting at the very least because of the national anthem. That was quite a performance. But
Well, she had a few drinks, is what it sounded like.
props to her for owning up to that part.
Yeah.
Nate says, let me know when someone picks a turn ahead the clock jersey. Let's go. What, as a baseball fan, I'm a little more of a casual fan these days, and I've talked about this before. This right here, it's fitting I'm wearing this hat today, coincidentally. This World Series changed me as a lifelong Cubs fan. When you see your team win after 108 years, there's part of you that recognizes like this is the peak. Like there's nowhere to go
Mhm.
but down from here. And because of that, I've invested myself emotionally less and less in baseball over the years, but I still have love for the sport. I have family who plays the sport, so it's never going to completely go away from me. But one of the casualties of my casual baseball fanhood, James, is and
Mhm.
has been the All-Star weekend completely. I don't even watch the home run derby anymore.
Yes.
I don't like some of the changes that were made over the years. So I wanted to pitch it to you as someone else who I don't think is watching this. What, if anything, what could be done to get you, James, or in general, just more casual viewers to start watching the MLB All-Star game again? What would make us care?
I don't. Do they still like? Does the winner still get home field advantage in the World Series? Has that changed?
Yeah, no.
A
Thank
long time
God,
ago.
no.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know if
It
there is. Like, I am not a fan of All Star weekends in general. I think they're a waste of time because the players don't take it seriously at all. They don't try hard. Like, every once in a while, you'll get a good one. Like when the NBA All Star Game did the Elam ending, that was fun. Like 1 year, that was 1 year. I was like, holy shit, these guys are trying, and they never did again. I just think All Star weekends are a waste of time. They're just a money grab for the league. The players aren't really trying, and I get it. Like they don't want to try too hard. They don't want to get hurt. They don't want anything stupid. Um,
Yeah, I
I get
agree.
it. You know.
It's more, I think, as this goes on, it's becomes more and more uh, clear to me that All-Star nominations and delegations, like it just needs to be an award. Like you're
Yeah,
an
and that's it.
all-star, you're one of the best players of this first half. And then the event, the weekend, almost just needs to be geared towards the future of the sport. Like let's show me the new crop of superstars. Maybe
Yeah.
that might be a way to, because A, those people will have more incentive to care. They're going to play harder. They're going to do some things to, whether they're a young guy on a team who's already stacked at that position and they're doing it for the scouts, or they're doing it for the cash bonus, or they're doing it for the, trying to get their own sponsorship deals if they do something cool in the All-Star game, or if they're doing it to, prove to their own squad, like, hey, in the All-Star game upcoming, whatever, he did this at third base. Let's go try him over there,
Mhm.
whatever. Like, there's got to be a good reason for it that at least will make diehard fans of the sport happy. But I think, and then you can just focus on the celebrity side of it when you're trying to bring in casual people. Like, I don't know. My favorite part of the All-Star weekend honestly used to be the celebrity softball game. It was a lot of fun watching people like me who couldn't really play baseball go around.
I love that
And
celebrity. Some of those celebrity softball games were awesome.
Nate says NASCAR All-Star weekend is actually really good. Well, I don't know
I saw that.
what that entails, Nate. If you can fit that into some comments, fire
I don't
away.
either. I don't know anything about the NASCAR's All-Star weekend, so please expand on that. I really don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I think as a concept,
don't leave us hanging, Nate.
It's pretty dead there. Yeah, Nate, if you have it, let us know. And before we move on from the MLB All-Star game, I'll just say again, thank you all for tuning in. Let us know what your thoughts are in the chat. Here are some topics we still have coming up. We have Olympics. Of course, we're going to talk about the basketball side. We're going to preview some other major sports. Again, we want to hear from you. What is your favorite obscure Olympic sport to watch? Something you only get to watch every 4 years, but you never want to miss it. And we've got some big Caitlin Clark news, record-setting performance last night in the WNBA. But we're also going to check out an article from our colleague here. Josh Limesand did the best off-season vibes. He ranked every NFL team based on their vibe check for the offseason. So we're about to dive into that. But first, we have our answer from Nate. It says, usually includes a truck race, and then they run an open for people who haven't won in the past 2 years or won the All-Star race in the past 10 years, and then the All-Star race. It's been at one of the original 8 tracks in the first season, and they usually try new packages and rules during the race. See, especially when we get towards that back end, James, that's the stuff that I like. That's a great opportunity to try out some new things. Like you want to, like, for instance, some of the baseball rules that I hate, the ghost runner and shit in the 10th inning, try some of that stuff in your all-star game, and get some feedback before you just do it. Oh, and let me know if you want to talk some Olympic wrestling. Okay, Nate. We'll definitely
let's talk some wrestling.
Get on that. Well, that's probably a good time to pivot, because I don't have much more to say about the sport of baseball as of right now. So
I don't either. I just don't watch it. So I'm not a baseball guy. Don't hate it, just don't watch.
Exactly. Just give us a reason to care. Like the Olympics. Now, unlike previous years, or, well, not necessarily. Back when I was a kid, the basketball portion of the Olympics was a foregone conclusion. And when you look at the Team USA roster, you would be forgiven if you just once again said, oh, yeah, for sure, they got this. But I guess we'll start with hoops, James. As far as the Olympics go, is Team USA your favorite? And are there any other nations that you're looking at that you're thinking, okay, these guys might actually take it down, or they're solid medal favorites for you?
I haven't looked too much. Let's see.
I'm going to rattle off Canada.
Canada was
obviously
the
a pretty good team. There
Canada.
are
Paris Power Rankings. Here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Let's see. Ooh, South Sudan. They're no good. All right, we're in the top 10 here. Greece is 6 with Giannis. No Thanasis, because he's got 20 Achilles. Canada.
Oh, he didn't even make the national team, huh? Wow. Nate says South Sudan is his underdog pick.
They were 12. Serbia 4. Who's on this team? Oh, Bogey.
Australia is still rocking Matthew Dellavedova on the squad.
France is 3 France is always good. Tony Parker play anything? Victor Wembanyama. Germany.
They will be a pretty decent team. France has a lot of solid NBA bench players, and then of
Dennis,
course Victor.
Germany's got the Wagner brothers. They've got Dennis Schroeder.
I want to say France gave Team USA a headache last Olympics.
Yeah, France is usually pretty good. So I think the United States has got the team this year, but there's some teams that isn't Clay playing on some weird team?
Is it? I wouldn't be surprised. It's kind of his thing now, right? He gets no respect. Klay Thompson is the Rodney Dangerfield of the NBA.
I thought he was playing for somebody really weird, like as a dual citizen. I thought somebody told me this. I'm trying to.
How you feel about Embiid ring chasing at the Olympics and joining Team USA and not getting any flop calls? That has been fun.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk that the international refs are just stare at him as he tries to get flop calls. Like, bro, shut the fuck, chill. It's so fun. I want to hire those refs for the NBA. Come on.
Yeah, more of that, please. My goodness.
It's
so Could you imagine? It makes me want James Harden out there.
Yeah, so give me some Canadians, give me some France. There's some teams out there that can get them.
Now, what about go ahead.
Patty Mills has played in 5 Olympics for Australia.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah,
and I believe they still have Dellavedova on the squad too, which kind of surprised me.
They've got Joe Ingles. That's kind of fun.
You have Dante Exum over there? I don't know if he's still on the squad.
He's around. He's floating around somewhere. So USA is going to win, but there are some other teams that could give them a run for their money.
I do love, as the sport gets more and more global, I really enjoy the fact that we are seeing more and more, at least former NBA guys, sprinkled in the Olympic ranks. It just makes it more fun to catch a game that USA is not involved in when it's on. Okay, so Nate's going to swap us over to wrestling. I know there's going to be a couple other Olympic sports we're going to talk about while we're here. Now, this is not the chair shot, table breaking kind of wrestling.
Oh, what the hell?
This is the other Kurt Angle wrestling. My God, great time for the hiccups. 3 Indiana wrestlers are in the Olympics. Hoosiers. One is definitely a medal favorite. Nate says USA should win the most wrestling medals. Well, considering our love for MMA, I am not surprised that Team USA still has always been.
Bruce Baumgartner.
I know maybe I shouldn't say always, but as long as I can remember, wrestling has been another thing that America takes a lot of pride in. Collegiate wrestling does have its following. It's a big deal if you're really good at it. If you're
I was huge for wrestling, big time.
Yeah, exactly. One of those all-time greats. He says Sarah Hildebrandt, Kayla Miracle, Mason Paris. Well, you can't bet against a guy named Paris at the Paris Olympics. James, what is another sport? So for me, I'm a big fan of soccer and or football, depending on where you're from, what you like to call it. And now, while I don't have the same depth of knowledge that I had when I was a teenager, where I knew, the 4 best guys on the top 16 teams in the world or whatever, I'm still going to enjoy watching a lot of Olympic soccer. We'll start with soccer. Do you watch any soccer normally? Are you a fan of the World Cup or the Olympics?
I love the World Cup. I tell people all the time, I wish I watched more. I just don't even know how to get into it. Like, I wish I cared about Premier League. Like, I know it's good. I know it's high level. Its fans are awesome. I really just need to pick a team and be like, this is it. This is the year I start.
Hey.
So I'll be paying attention to that. I love the World Cup. Shouts out to Berhalter for getting fired. Thanks, buddy. We didn't want you anyway. So yeah, I do pay attention. There is a a thrower from Indiana State that made the women's Olympic team. I think she throws hammer.
Oh, okay. While you look that up, shout out to Nate. If Gable Steveson wasn't a fuck up, maybe he would have been wrestling. Yeah, talk about a guy. Oh man, he fucked up. He got a WWE contract too. They fired him. He can't do anything. He can't Olympic wrestle. Can't do pro wrestling. He's done. Who was you? Find your hammer thrower?
Aaron Reese. Yeah, she threw it at Indiana State, and she qualified. Finished third at the Olympics trials. It's the she throws. What is this thing? Little ball on a chain. What is this thing? Oh yeah, hammer throw. Yeah, hammer. Yep.
Nice.
So she
Okay.
qualified. So good for her. I know her husband pretty well, or not really well. I know him. Shouts to her. That's awesome. Good for her.
Love seeing the home state represented. We got 3 wrestlers. We got a hammer thrower in there.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love that. So you're going to be watching some soccer. I know I'll be watching some soccer. What is another one? Are there some? Now will be a good time to throw out those obscure Olympic sports that you all like to watch out there in the chat. But James, what about you? What are some other things that maybe they don't necessarily have to be obscure even, but it's a sport that you wouldn't normally watch, but you find yourself watching. So I think a good example for all of us, maybe not all of America watches swimming normally, but when Michael Phelps was in the game, I felt like that
People
became
were
must-see
paying.
TV.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to swimming no more. He's gone.
What is it for you? Are there any games in particular that you just are like, hell yeah, it's the Olympics. I don't care if this is up at 1 a.m. I'm watching it.
I do weirdly love like some of the gymnastics stuff, like the bars and shit like that. I think they're fucking wild. Just because like I'm flabbergasted people can do that. Javelin's
yeah.
wild too. I love javelin. The sprints are awesome. I don't think the 100 and 200 meter have any like mega names this year, right? Like the Usain Bolts and them are all gone.
Probably there aren't any names that I know.
Like I know about, like we're paying attention. You know, the 4x1 is awesome because it's so fast.
I think there actually is a pretty big name American female sprinter in the game. Yeah,
the women's
right now.
side. Yes, the women's side. Yeah. What is her name? We'll look that one up too. I know who you're talking about.
So for me, it is more of a winter sport that I am a huge nerd
Sha'Carri
for curling.
Richardson.
There you go. Thank you.
You didn't tell me I could talk winter sports. That's not fair.
Yeah, I said it. Well, sorry, I said it in the intro, but yeah, the winter sports are up there too.
My mom was a big figure skater watcher growing up, so I've watched 1 billion hours of figure skating. It's like my guilty pleasure. I've Michelle Kwan and that whole era.
Yes,
my girl Michelle Kwan never got a gold. Girl, God, heartbreaking.
Same,
Young
dude.
It just hurts.
Had a
so figure skating is my guilty pleasure.
That is funny. I won't call it a guilty pleasure for me. I was in that same position though. Raised by someone who spent a lot of time in Canada. I watched a lot of hockey and a lot of figure skating growing up. So that's another one I love. Love me some Olympic hockey when it's that time. And Nate, as if on cue, I watch Olympic hockey, and that's about it for the winter sports. USSR sucks. #miracle. Oh, I love it. And yeah, of course, we will be keeping tabs on the sports major and minor in the Olympics here.
It starts soon.
On Super Size Sports. Yeah, James, if you don't mind, can you look up the start date? Because I'm going to
Paris Olympics
shout out.
Game schedule. It starts like in 2 weeks, I think. You got to load their computer. Come on, bud. Come on.
We are climbing up to 100 concurrent viewers, by the way. So I'll get my
Wednesday,
shout out
July 24th. So next Wednesday, it actually starts. Next Wednesday, Thursday. The opening ceremony is next Friday. That's always weird. Why is the Olympics ceremony after the games start? That's so weird. They always do that.
Because it's got to be a big thing. Everybody's got to be able to watch the opening ceremony.
I know. Do it on Wednesday. They literally don't have any events on Friday, so put the events on Friday and do it Wednesday.
It's a big.
You got football and rugby sevens on Wednesday. Archery, football, handball, rugby sevens on Thursday. Wrestling. Let me find some wrestling.
It's kind of an outdated concept though now, especially with the internet and.
It's probably taped. It's all going to be tape delayed anyway. It's most likely because it's overseas. Wrestling starts Monday, August 5th. Looks like.
Ooh, you got to
Yep.
wait a little bit, Nate. Dang.
Yeah, you got a couple weeks, bud. No earliness for you, buddy. Greco-Roman wrestling. Yep.
And there it is. We hit it. Shout out, guys. We've been gone for a couple of weeks, so
Hello.
I am blown away to see 100 concurrent viewers right now. We love it. Thank you all. Keep it coming. Fire away in the chat. I don't know. Sometimes the Twitter chat does not work. So if you are talking to us on
Yeah,
Twitter
we tend to
and
find
we're
that out,
ignoring
yeah.
you, just come and see us on YouTube. I know those work, and clearly Facebook's working too tonight. So shout out to Nate hanging out with us here. He says, I'll just watch the 2000 Greco-Roman finals while I wait. He's got to get in the zone. He's getting primed, dude. He's getting himself all geared up
Get yourself hyped up.
for
Nate, I would come watch a USL game, Nate, if you ever invited me. You never fucking invite me. Nate, have you bought your Beer Fest tickets yet? That's the most important thing, the question of the day. Have you or have you not?
Let us know, Nate. We need to
We need the
know.
VIP tickets, bud.
And we are going now from Summer Olympics to summertime vibes. Here we go. I'm actually going to start this from the back order, brought to you by BiteSizeSports.com. Our very own Josh Limasan wrote
Loser
this.
City.
Part 2. Part 2 came out today. We're going to do this in ascending order so you guys can we can work our way to the top. So let me scroll down to the bottom, of course. BuySizeSports.com.
Jesus,
if
Kevin,
you want to
show
read
it all off. Good Lord.
All of this together or on your own. Sorry. And we got my co-host over here just cutting me off. All right, we're going to start with the number 32, the Denver Broncos, the worst off-season vibes so far. So obviously we know what Nate
not
thinks
good
here.
for the Broncos. Nate, you have lost your mind. Nate is so stupid. Nate, you probably missed the segment where he made fun of Caleb Williams. The Titans are going to shred him, and they're going to break him week 1. Also, if you want to go to Chicago and go to the game, holler at me. You got my digits.
There it is. I love that. He says Packers at 31, then the Colts. I see what we're doing here, Nate. Denver Broncos have let's just quickly think about it. Russ is gone. Their quarterback, Bo Nix. I don't know who else is even on there as an option for them. Could be one of the worst teams in the league. I got no issues
Holler at me,
with
Nate.
Josh putting this here at 32.
Yeah, they're bad.
Now, again, this is based on what you did in the offseason, where your vibes are.
Off-season vibes, just straight vibes, just straight vibes. The Browns lost their boy Joe Flacco, the savior. He's gone. Huge loss, big loss, bad vibes all around.
You know, these vibes are probably still just the remaining horrible vibes just from having Deshaun Watson in your locker room. Nate says, is Paxton Lynch still a thing?
I've not heard that.
He probably is. Probably playing
Memphis
in the
Prodigy.
UFL. Paxton Lynch, shout out to my boy Sam Hardman getting drafted by the Birmingham Stallions, about to have their 4th straight different quarterback be MVP.
Oh, Josh,
the New
York Football
Jets. Wow. Aaron Rodgers not doing it for him. How do you feel about this? You think the Jets had a good offseason?
I don't know if they've done it. I think if he's healthy, they've had a great offseason. I think that's the most important thing. I think that's all it comes down to, right? If he's healthy, they're fine.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. We never got to see it. So I have no idea. I would like to think Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers back there. It's a pretty major injury. We've yet to see him take a meaningful snap as a Jet. So I think I don't know. It could be a big old waste. Rodgers is immunized from winning. Next, we have the Carolina Panthers. I wasn't going to include this. Bryce Young can turn around in a year or two. There's plenty to be scared about. I can't think of anything I'd be excited about if I were a Panthers fan. Can you, James?
Cut out on me, but the Panthers suck.
Oh, dang it.
They still have Bryce Young as their quarterback, and they traded away their whole everything to get him.
Well, I apologize. It seems like
Are you live
my
over there?
internet's
Hello, hello.
yeah, I think my internet might be dying on me. So we will I guess we're gonna stop sharing
He's
that tab
dying.
there. Can you hear me now? Am I here? Hello.
Yes, a little bit.
Okay.
Here, why don't let's go to me. Let's let James Schmeitz do this. Hold on.
See, I apologize. Maybe I shouldn't have been so hyped about this new Wi-Fi here yet.
Let's see here. There we go. Share, present, share screen.
Let's go. I'm trying to
Check out our boy
prioritize
Josh
this device.
Check out our boy Josh on Twitter. Okay, here we go. Carolina Panthers. Yuck. Don't care. They suck. Not good. They are 0
Agreed.
good. Going up to the Falcons, Kev. Let's talk about the Falcons. Got 2 new quarterbacks because in this day and age, you need 2 to run a 1 quarterback offense. How do you feel about the Falcons?
How is this not the worst one? This would be the only one, maybe.
Right here. I love this. I love this word, asinine. That's a great way to put it.
This might be the strongest feedback I have for Josh on this one. Would just be that the Kirk Cousins, Michael, the Penix thing on its own that puts them in last place for me.
Yeah.
Good old Mike Weiner.
Oh, Mike Weiner. Yeah, they suck. Let's move on. Cowboys? I guess I don't even know the Cowboys even really do anything. Tony Pollard left. He's a Titan now. I don't know who they draft.
There's nothing there to be excited about.
I really can't. I don't know anything. I don't know what they did. Bad vibes, right?
Maybe that's a good thing for them. Maybe it's a good thing for them to have a quiet off season.
Maybe. I don't know. Bad vibes.
I know Colts fans were begging for that for years, but I agree the vibe's pretty low. New Orleans.
This isn't about a quiet off season. This is about vibes and vibes only. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints. Also another team I don't know anything they did. But Josh says they entered the offseason with one of the worst financial situations in the league. That's not good. Very negative vibes. Easy.
Yeah, it's insane. I can't think of much. I mean, what are they? It's Derek Carr.
I don't know. They still got Derek Carr, right? Oh, I don't, Nate. It's December 22nd. It's right before Christmas. So if I'm in town, I'm absolutely going to be there. I was looking at it today. I'm like, why are they playing on fucking the weekend before Christmas? I don't know. That's TBA. I will let you know. I hope so. I will be up there. I'm definitely going to be in town for a game. We'll get the band back together, touchdown town, to make one of the Colts. Right, Kev?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'm making it for that game.
He's gonna make one of the Colts too.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. No one's harder on them than I am most of the time.
Most of the time is correct. Yeah. Next up, Miami Dolphins. Interesting. Team is fun to watch in the regular season. Yeah, Nate, it's one of the best deals in America. I will give the Indianapolis Colts 0 credit, but their $3 beers at Touchdown Town is awesome. It's awesome. Then you go inside and they're like 25. Get them while they're hot outside. Yeah, Kevin is a parent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know those made the move over.
Yeah.
No
I'm
doubt.
wearing them right now.
They're not unpacked yet.
Yeah, Dolphins. They're good. Just a no vibe off season, right? Like, what do they do? They really just want people to get healthy. Jalen Ramsey to get healthy. All those guys.
Yeah, they're kind of in a offensively, I think, right? They're about in a run it back situation if Tua stays healthy. Probably the biggest concern. And I'm not 100% sold that this is a team that's going to win anything of meaning. I feel like the Dolphins are one of those regular season kind of track meet teams, but winter time, I just don't know. I don't know if they're really going to be out there. They don't have that grit How many flashy teams whose three best offensive players all play wide receiver do you see winning Super Bowls? Oh, I thought it was my internet there for a second. I wasn't sure which one it was. Apologies, folks. I don't know why I'm having the issues that I'm having with my internet today. Make sure we've got the Ethernet plugged in for the next round, but we appreciate you bearing with us. Nate said, Amy, I've got to get that article pulled back up and we'll go through it here real quick. But once again, shout out to Josh Limesand for putting that together for us. And I want to know, Nate, where do you think the Bears rank on this in vibes check? So I pull up back 17 through 32. It just gave me the wrong one. I clicked on the wrong. I said it gave me like I didn't click the wrong one. There we go. I lied. I don't have it yet. Once again, shout out for watching, guys. We appreciate you. I'm back now. Nate says, I haven't seen the article, but if they aren't number one, what is wrong with the world? Well, let's see if we get there. We'll probably do a bit of a quick hitter for some of the rest of these. Jacksonville at 24, no argument there. What a weird position they are in. Went from the top of the division to the bottom of the division and might still be staying there. James is back. Don't worry.
You my only internet crashed. One. I'm on my phone now.
I had already committed to doing a lightning round of the rest of this since my internet's also giving me a hard time. So we'll burn through these. So I'm going to do them in a grouping, and then we'll just get your thoughts on the group. All right. So 24 through 20, we've got Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Kansas City.
Jacksonville is going to, the rudest awakening. Remember 2 years ago when they made the playoffs and they were all hot and bothered because they were the darlings of the AFC South suddenly. Now they suck again because Ridley left and Trevor Lawrence isn't as good as they think.
Yes, 100%. That's just what I was saying. I love that because we just said the same thing about 2 minutes apart. I love that. No disagreement there. I think the Chiefs is pretty accurate. I think that
they've had a bad offseason, just a lot of off the field shit.
Yeah, they normally get usually a signing or two, something like it's usually all positive in Kansas City land. Yeah. So I'm surprised to see them at 20, but it sits well with me.
I don't hate Nate's argument here.
It sounds like
they've just been in so much trouble.
All right, so we'll round out the rest of this. So 19 was the Seahawks. The Giants were at 18, and the Buffalo Bills at 17. So any thoughts about those three?
Bills got rid of Diggs. I think that's going to hurt them. I don't know who their top end pass catcher is going to be unless they pull off a miraculous trade for Ayuk or something, And then the Giants, they let Saquon go.
No disagreement there. Nate says circle the wagons of mediocrity for the Buffalo Bills. About to heat things up a little bit in this next segment. We'll go 16 through 10. And at 16, we have James' beloved Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
We got the
They're too low. They're too low.
Vikings, Rams, Colts, Bucks, Packers, and the Texans.
Should be higher. Weapons for Will Levis. Oh, yeah, check. Ridley's in there. Boyd's in. Hell, yeah. Defense, Jerry Sneed's oncoming. Hell, yeah. Protection for Levis. Yep. J.C. Latham. Yep. Cushionberry at center. Yep. Our boy Skoronski at left guard is a full offseason to recover from his damn appendectomy he had in the season. Titans are back. folks. At 13, you have the shitbag Indianapolis Colts, who were back to the Anthony Richardson hype train because he played so much last year. So excited to see him play 2 games, and Colts fans tell me how he's the best quarterback ever. Nate, he doesn't bet anymore, so that's crazy. So shut up.
Yeah, enjoy. Yeah, speaking of playing 2 games,
I don't have to argue with you guys anymore on if Jonathan Taylor's the best back in the league anymore because they're in the division anymore because Derrick Henry finally left.
Hey, got that going. The Colts have the 2 best runners in the division this season.
Neither that can stay on the field. I ain't scared of them turds. I ain't scared of them.
I actually won't be directed. I will not be spitting the same venom back at my wonderful co-host. Instead, on our hated feed. Yeah, it's also that. The Houston Texans overrated offseason. All right, you talk about the Bills losing Stephon Diggs. Houston gaining Stephon Diggs could end up being a problem.
It could be, yeah, it could either be a problem for other teams or a problem for them. I'm not sure which it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. The one thing he won't do is just fit in well and be a nice complementary piece. He's either going to go off and be a number 1 option, and those other 2 young guys are going to fill the ranks beneath him, and CJ Stroud additional confidence. That's not going to come bite him in the ass either, and they are just going to run rough shot all over people, or CJ is going to have bit off a little more than he could chew because he's been talking a big game all off season. Now, coaches are going to be looking at him differently. His life's going to be harder. And if he's not able to get the ball to Diggs, he's going to start hearing sooner than let be something that I'm sure he dealt with at Ohio State, because half the time they have 5 of the best receivers in the nation on their roster at the same time. So I'm sure he's dealt with it to some extent. But Stephon Diggs is like the final boss of diva receivers, in my opinion.
He's not as elite as he once was.
But he probably, in his own mind, he is. And therein lies the problem. So I don't know, James. I think the Texans on paper, but I think it's still their division to win. I think they're in line for a similar where they are good, yes, but I don't know that they're as good as everyone thinks they're going to be. And I don't know that CJ Stroud is above having a kind of sophomore slump like he, you got to be confident. I'm not going to slight him for being confident, but I feel like he's edging into the area. It's not going to be that easy. There's just no way. Look at Joe Burrow, and like there's plenty of really talented quarterbacks who, 1-0 lineman goes down and you don't have that protection. You don't have as much time to think. And good luck, partner. So anyway, we'll do the top. We'll list them all off. We're closing in on the hour. We still got one more topic after this. So here are the top 9 off-season vibes. Baltimore Ravens, then the Raiders, the Steelers, and the Eagles. So the top 5 starts out in Philly. Los Angeles, the Detroit Lions at 2, and Nate, you are correct, sir. The Chicago Bears. Now, granted, this part was written before our previous discussion about Caleb Williams and his request to not be dampened the vibes a bit, but at time of writing, Josh, a Vikings fan, actually agreed with you, Nate, that it was time to bear the fuck down. James, what are your thoughts on the top 10?
I love what the Bears have done. I really do. After today, Caleb Williams pisses me off time. But I love that they got DJ Moore last year. They traded for what's his face from the Chargers at the drive. Keenan Allen, who's stellar. He's awesome. They got DeAndre Swift at running back. Still got Cole Kmet at tight end. Good defense. They could be fun. They're just not going to be fun week 1, Nate. They're not going to be fun week 1.
Dude, for about 3 weeks of the season, they'll have one of the best receiving cores in the NFL.
And then they'll all be hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And they won't be 3 consecutive games. They will play, like week 3, week 7, and week 14 together. Brutal. Well, there we go. A big old NFL segment brought to you courtesy of our good friend Josh. Please go read the article to get the actual insights on why Josh ranked them there. Would love to hear your thoughts on it in our next episode. So, or let Josh know yourself. You can leave a comment on the article at Bite Size Sports. So here we go, James. The final topic of the night: Caitlin Clark, a record-setting performance. I believe it was 24 points, but the most.
One shoey, Nate. One shoey. One shoey.
The more important part of Caitlin Clark's performance last night was the 19 assists. James, big hoop guy over there. What are your thoughts on Caitlin Clark?
Why is she not playing for the women's team in the Olympics? Somebody explain this to me. Explain this to me like I don't understand basketball, because I do. It's the stupidest fucking thing ever. Your goal is to grow the sport, and you left your biggest, brightest young star at home. Oh, and by the way, the last game before the Olympic break, she breaks the all-time. Now, okay, like Kev, this is a very important stat. She didn't just break the rookie record. She broke the all-time assist record in a game ever in WNBA history, period. 19 assists in one game. It's the all-time record. She's played in 26 WNBA games. She's a stud. She's the face. She's going to be the face of the league. She should be playing in the Olympics. Congrats to her. Also, she probably needs a month off because she's been playing since last November, because the WNBA has weird time on her schedule.
Yeah,
that's my 10 cents.
That is true. And he says so confident won't do 2. She averaged 20 assists per game on the Aces.
2 shoeys.
Well, that's the other part I wanted to add.
Bitch.
He won't do it unless it's 2 shoeys. It's a secondary skill for her too, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's Caitlin Clark. You think of the shooting. So the idea that she's out here setting league records in the part of her field that she's not is pretty scary. And again, on a team that, while it's had back-to-back #1 overall pick, they've also had back-to-back overall picks. So that means not a lot of other, they've struggled, right? Again, as Nate said, if this were in LA or New York, she'd be averaging 20 assists a game. Very impressive. I think the whole Olympics thing is just that there is a lot of good established talent there. I don't necessarily disagree.
That's not good. That's not great.
Because you're building the brand. It seemed to be those who are in the know,
Kev, it's fine. Like it's fine that this league doesn't want to grow, that women's basketball doesn't want to grow, that they don't want to put their brightest young star. I mean, guess what? Guess who was the last player on the bench for the Dream Team? He didn't deserve to be there, but he was.
Larry Bird
looked like a future star. No, it was Christian Laettner.
Oh, it's Christian Laettner. That's right. I thought you were talking about Larry Bird and his back spasms. He shouldn't have been there.
Looked like
either.
He was going to be a star, but he never was. So, listen, man, like whatever, like to each their own. Like it's stupid and they're wrong. I don't disagree with this, Nate. I actually don't agree with this. Disagree, but Olympics are once every 4 years. She's the biggest star in America women's basketball right now. You should put her on the worldwide stage. Maybe she shouldn't play. Who cares? She's there. Like
now, that part I won't.
Thing ever. Then I'm not saying they have to play her. Whatever you like, whatever. You don't want to play her, that's fine. She had 26 and 19 last night. 6 rebounds. 24 and 19.
John, what is up? Yes.
He sucks. He's not. He's going to be a problem for him. I'm mad about that pick.
So to put a cap, my thoughts on the Caitlin Clark stuff.
That's signing.
Just I think just on business, she should have been there. What I've heard from the WNBA journalists that I've seen, which I happen to have one. I have my dear friend Meg Hall, former. I used to be a
Yep.
co-host on her podcast, Hall About Sports. She is plugged in, a great WNBA journalist, and so I kind of
Mhm.
tend to follow her lead when it comes to takes on stuff like this, and folks like her would tell of great WNBA talent already on Team USA, and that skill wise, talent wise, at the time when the team was there was some controversy, but those who've been following the league were like, look, we get it, but it's a stacked team. Um, because you have this historic performance, she could be headed off to the Olympics now and really building more brand recognition on the world stage. Like that's something that people maybe don't realize as much, especially the younger folks. Like you mentioned, the dream team. That's part of why we have what we have right now. Best college players to our best NBA players, our biggest stars. We sent all of them onto the world stage, and it turned into basketball fans for the rest of their lives. That's how and then we get the Lucas of the world. We get all these international stars based on this. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it was a missed opportunity, even if there may not have been room for her on the actual court once the but you disagree with John coming in here with some Russ Westbrook hype. I forgot we had the one Christian Leitner fan left in our audience.
My size Bikes knows. He knows.
He'll always have that never missed a shot game. But anyway, about it here. I will hand it to James. I want to say thank you all so much for watching. We apologize. I apologize for the internet issues. We'll definitely progress move. Got to get a proper Ethernet set up like we had at the old place. So, James, thank you as always for being here with me, brother. Where can the folks
Always,
at home
man.
find you?
You can us. We're back every Wednesday or every Thursday, 9 p.m. You can also catch us every Monday at 6 p.m. on our sister station on Bites or on the Dweeb. I had to reverse the roles there, talking all kinds of nerd shit on the weekly Dweeb. And then every Wednesday on our flagship program, Han Shot First, talking Star Wars. We have a huge guest host next Wednesday in Badwick, so come on down, folks.
That's right. That's right. And come join us again next Thursday. We'll be right here on another episode of Supersize Sports. Come hang out with us, talk anything you want to talk about in the wild world of Sundays or Sunday mornings now on the Clout Route. And I know James and I both have some stuff we're cooking up on our. We'll save that for another day. We thank you all for tuning in. Had over 100 viewers for like the last half hour of the show. Love that so much. We cannot say thank you enough. But until next time, y'all take care now. We will see you. Sports. Are you looking for an energy boost without the jitters? Let our friends at W Energy help you with their fantastic selection of flavors. Just visit www.dubby.gg and use the code BITESIZESPORTS at checkout for 10% off your order total. Again, that is www.dubby.gg. Code BITESIZESPORTS.